The call came on a quiet afternoon. "Mr. Carter?" The voice on the other end trembled. "This is Nurse Emily. I'm not at the hospital. I was off duty, just walking home, but I found your daughter. She's lying unconscious on the street." The phone nearly slipped from billionaire Richard Carter's hand. He was used to hearing his daughter's voice echo through their grand mansion, not news that she was crumpled on a sidewalk. Within minutes, a black car sped through the city streets. Richard's heart pounded, not with the confidence of a man who had built empires, but with the fear of a father who realized how fragile life could be. When he arrived, there she was, Amelia, just 22, her face pale, her body weak. But what stunned him wasn't just her condition, it was her surroundings. She wasn't in the glamorous part of town. She was in a rundown neighborhood where children played barefoot and mothers stretched a loaf of bread to feed 5 mouths. And around her gathered strangers, an elderly man holding a paper cup of water, a young mother fanning her face, and a homeless teenager clutching her hand as though guarding her life. Richard's throat tightened. Why was she here? The nurse, Emily, crouched beside Amelia, monitoring her pulse. "She'll be okay," she assured softly. "It looks like exhaustion, dehydration. But she's been here for hours. These people stayed with her when no one else did." Hours? Richard's chest ached. Amelia wasn't the type to wander the streets, at least, not the Amelia he thought he knew. As paramedics lifted her, Richard finally asked, his voice raw, "Why was my daughter here?" Emily hesitated, then pointed across the street. A small shelter with peeling paint stood there. She was volunteering. Serving meals. Talking with families. "I saw her last week, quiet, but so gentle with everyone. None of us knew she was your daughter." The revelation struck like thunder. His Amelia, serving food? Helping strangers? He had spent years teaching her about wealth, inheritance, responsibility. Yet she had chosen to walk among those he had overlooked. At the hospital, Amelia stirred awake. Her father leaned close, his powerful hands shaking as they brushed a strand of hair from her face. "Why didn't you tell me?" he whispered. Her lips curved into a weak smile. "Because, Dad, some people don't need a billionaire. They just need someone who listens. Someone who cares. I wanted to give them, me." Tears blurred his vision. In that moment, Richard realized how much he had built in business, yet how much he had missed in humanity. His daughter hadn't been unconscious from weakness, she had collapsed from giving everything she had, her time, her strength, her heart. The next morning, Richard made a decision that shocked his board of directors. Instead of another luxury project, he invested millions into community shelters, healthcare clinics, and scholarships for underprivileged children. Reporters called it philanthropy. Investors called it risky. But Richard knew the truth. It was his daughter's quiet lesson made loud: wealth was worthless unless it healed. Months later, the same street where Amelia had fallen bloomed with hope. A new community center stood tall, bearing no family name, just a simple plaque, for those who cared when no one else did. And every week, Amelia still went back, not as a billionaire's daughter, but as herself. Sometimes with her father by her side, sleeves rolled up, serving meals to the people who had once kept her alive. Because at the end of the day, kindness isn't about status, money, or titles. It's about showing up when it matters most. And sometimes, the most powerful call isn't one made to save a life, it's the one that awakens a heart.